Hey guys, it's Charlene. I am back today to share with you another cover plate die card and a fun technique that you can use with your cover plates. A couple of weeks ago, I showed you how to use masking paper to create a stained glass effect on your cards with your cover plates. Today, we're going to do a mixed media background, but it's not going to be an over-the-top mixed media background. It's going to be clean and manageable, and it looks so good. I have a few different inks here: Pool Party, Blue Hawaii, Nautical, and Splash. And then I have this mat that I like to use for mixed media. It helps the inks to bead up and you get a better result. You can also use a silicone mat. I have a piece of Luxe watercolor paper. I really like this paper because it is nice and smooth on both sides. It is really great for mixed media because it allows you to also stamp well. I have my water sprayer. That's going to make this process much easier. When you're doing mixed media backgrounds, it is a great idea to start with your lighter colors first. So I'll start off here with my Splash Reactive Ink. Now the Reactive Inks work very well for this type of smooshing. They are meant to bead up when you add water to them, and they just create a beautiful result. So I'll spritz some water on here using my sprayer. And then I'm going to grab my tweezers because remember, we don't want to get messy. So I'm just going to hold on to my paper with those tweezers, and I'm going to press my paper into the splash, and it's going to pick up that color and kind of create these fun patterns on the piece of watercolor paper. It is a great idea to use a heat tool to speed things up for drying in between layers. Definitely dry between those layers because that's what's going to give you that beautiful varied background. Now you can see when we tap in, those colors show up on top of what we've done before. You could use as much or as little as you want. I'm going to move on to my next color here, which is going to be Blue Hawaii. And I'm going to use less of the Blue Hawaii than I did of the Splash because I want those darker colors, as I increase in intensity, to really show up and pop on the background. And you can use your finger or you can use a tool to move around your color to kind of where you want to be on your mat and help it to bead up. So I'll dip my paper back and it's going to give me these nice spots of darker color. I'm happy with that, so I'll go ahead and dry this layer. If you find that you are missing spots because your tweezers are in the way, just move them around and then you can get back in there and fill in those spots with more color. I'm going to bring in a few pops of Pool Party. This is going to give us a nice teal, and it's going to just give us a little more variation on the background. So I'll bring my sprayer, and you don't need a lot of water, just a few spritzes to help that ink start moving around. And again, use your finger or a tool to get it where you want it to go on your mat. It's great for mixing colors as well. So look at that beautiful teal color we have on there. For this next layer, I want a little bit more, so I'm going to bring in that Pool Party again, but this time I want it to blend into some nautical core ink. Now, this does not bead as well because it's a core ink rather than a reactive ink, but you can still use these for this technique. So I'm going to get my water down, and in particular, using a reactive ink with a core ink will help kind of pick up the color and allow you to move it around better. Now I can dip this in and look at those cool dark spots we're getting now with the nautical. Love how this looks. And I know originally I said I was going to use just a little bit of that Pool Party, but I just love it so much I decided to bring in even more. Now, if you hold your paper down for longer, it's going to absorb more of the water and the color, and it's going to give you more of a smooth kind of dreamy result on your background. If you want more of the dotted kind of poppy look that I have here, you just want to tap into it. Once you're done and everything's dry, if you want to, you can also come in and drip some water on there because that water again is going to reactivate and act with those reactive inks, and it's going to push the color away. So you'll get some more of that spotting kind of pattern on there. Very pretty. We could leave this as is, but I want to build up the texture even more. A great way to do that is with a background stamp. I have here the Novel Prose Bold print, and this is Alice in Wonderland, and we don't really need to read the text though, because we're really going more so here for some extra texture on the card. So I'm going to put a piece of low tack tape on the back of my panel that we've done all of that beautiful inking on, lay it over the top of the background stamp where I want to have the text on there, and then pick it up with the door of my stamping platform. I'm bringing in intensified black ink and adding some ink on here. I'm not going to fully cover the stamp. You could, but I want this to just sort of be part of the background and not take away from it. So I'm going lighter in some areas. You can see there's kind of 3 concentrated areas where I added the ink here. So I'll go ahead and flip this over, make sure to get really nice, good pressure to pick that up, and you can see it looks really cool already. I want to darken it up a little bit more in those 3 spots, so I'll bring in some more of the intensified black ink. Go ahead now and flip this over, get my pressure, and now I'm happy. Do you see how that just adds that little bit of texture? So nice. Here's our pretty cover plate die that we have called Branches and Blossoms. And it also comes with these loose dies. So that's kind of a fun little add-on with this cover plate die. You've got a leaf, some birds, and a little flower. And those coordinate with the main background piece. I'll start by cutting everything out from Deluxe Smooth White cardstock. And I just wanted to point out that with this die set, the bird wing details, if you want to include them on the bird, then you need to get a piece of like low tack tape like this and just stick it to the tape so it stays in place. I cut out 2 of the cover plate dies and the rest of my pieces. I don't end up using all of them, just FYI, but I've added some glue here so I can layer up the 2 cover plate die cuts, because this is going to give us an added bit of dimension on the card. Let's color the die cuts. I'm starting with Pool Party, and I'm going to do kind of an all over on the branch, but I am going to focus and concentrate here along the bottom. For our bird, I'm going to start out here with Splash, again doing an all over, then bring in the nautical along the bottom and build up some of that beautiful darker navy blue there and blend it into the splash. I did decide I wanted some blue on the leaves after I saw my bird, so I came back here and I'm bringing in some blue Hawaii and blending it into the darker underside of this branch. For our small flower, I'm starting with blue Hawaii, and I will do an all over, and now I'm bringing in nautical and going around those edges. For our sentiment, I'm going to stamp out Smile in Today from the Art Journal Messages. These are really fun sentiments because you can be kind of loosey-goosey with them, right? You can make up your own sentiment. You can just have fun words on the front of your card. It's a great way to sort of build your creativity as you are putting together a card. I'm going to start here by putting together the bird, the branch, as well as the floral, and I'm adding glue and just layering them up together so that way I can create just one piece and it'll be easier for me to add to the front of my card. Put some foam squares on the back of it for some dimension, and then I can add glue to the back of our double layered cover plate die cut and put it over the panel that we created. Now I know it is hard to cover up a beautiful panel like that you have created, but it adds so much to a card. I think you guys will agree that background behind the cover plate die just looks divine, right? Okay, I'm going to put my sentiments on here a little bit wonky. I've also got some foam tape on the back of those, and you can see there's kind of this curve I'm creating with the sentiments going down towards the bird, adding a few black enamel dots to tie everything together, and then all that's left to do is add glue to the back and add it to an A2 size card base. So here is our finished card. It is so fun. What a beautiful card. I hope that you all picked up some tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so that you'll know about future videos here on the Hero Arts YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.